Today we're talking all about the bifurcated life and how we don't believe in that. We're going to have Amy join us remotely. It's very nostalgic and giving 2020. I'm here for it, minus the COVID. So let's start and try to get Amy in. Happy Wednesday also. Matt's here. Matt.
Hey guys.
So we love it when we show a little behind the scenes. Matt is running our TCL content.
And wearing the slouchy carpenter
wait,
jeans.
I wasn't. Matt, you ate me up just now. Matt is wearing the slouchy carpenter jean, which I was not prepared for him to talk about. But anyway, Amy's going to join us. So, the bifurcated life. I have lived such a bifurcated life. All of my friendships have been separate. I have friends from high school, friends from college. Now I have new mom friends. I sometimes have a church wardrobe, a work wardrobe. And so today we're going to talk about all the ways kind of merging those will make your life so much easier.
I think we should have Amy joining us. Let's see. Amy.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Amy.
Greetings.
Just to make sure my head's in the shot.
Is my head in the shot?
Your head's in the shot. Boop.
Love.
Okay.
Perf.
Is
So
this head in the shot,
Yeah,
most importantly?
it's in the shot. Hi, Jack.
All right.
Well, today people are asking for the comments off. We're actually going to leave the comments on because we're going to have a real discussion.
Yeah.
Interactive. We miss that. We miss you, and it's going to be good. How are you, Amy?
I'm good. Better. Thanks.
Good. Bifurcation? Let's talk about it.
Great. Go on with what you were saying. I was listening to you, and that was great. So.
Well, I mean, I've had a wardrobe, but also a life that's been bifurcated for quite some time. I had church clothes. I had my work clothes. I had my play and go out on the weekends, my sexy, club clothes. I know. Womp womp, that's gone away. But these closets and these pieces of clothing really felt very separate, but I felt very divided in my actual life too. Like my personality was split. I was being one person in one environment, a different person in a different environment, and it's very stressful. It's very stressful.
Yeah, I think, Couture, this dovetails off of that conversation that we had last week with our inaugural CP Salon series with Samara from BlackRock, the CIO over at BlackRock, and then Wendy Feinerman, the producer, winner of Oscars for Forrest Gump, Devil Wears Prada, et cetera. And what we talked about, the end so what, was how it can be really frustrating if you think that you're living a bifurcated life where you're in the life that you're living right now and you're waiting for the one that you want to live. And it's not about like stopping to smell the roses, but it's just having faith that there are roses all around you. Yeah. And just kind of keep your nose up in the air while you're plodding through. And I wrote a Substack this weekend on, a bifurcated life and how that sucks. And I really think that sometimes you can push through things when you understand intellectually what the problem is, and then you can start to tackle it. But also when you're doing things day to day that help resolve it without even really realizing that it resolves it. And the bifurcated closet is a really good example of like when you've got that chasm between how you want to be and how you're showing up, it really rubs in a bad way. And that's what we want to get rid of. And what we want to show people today is that merger of your closet. Really helps just change your mindset.
Amy, I think it's easier for us to like read your Substack and to say these things, but in practice, it's really difficult because it's uncomfortable to kind of merge those worlds sometimes. I had a conversation with someone, and they said, "Oh, you showed up and your representative wasn't there." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And it's like your representative of like who I am in this environment. So sometimes when we drop the sheet a little bit and show who we really are, it makes for a more positive outcome for all. Like that authenticity is what I think would be a life goal for me. Not like it's a value point that you have to kind of like work towards, right?
It's something that you have to work towards. And it's also something that is going to be demonstratively different for everyone. And, you and I were laughing about this, but right before Samara and Wendy and I walked out for the talk, Wendy said, I think it's really important that like in a big meeting that, you know, it's really empowering to show up as a female in a room full of males. And I said, you know, sure, but like, what does that mean to you? And she said, well, I think it's really important. Like for me, like I'm going to wear a dress and lipstick and my high heels, and I'm going to show up as a female in this all male environment. And I was like, well, right, but I want to show up in a navy blue suit. And Wendy was like, but don't hide yourself. And I was like, but excuse me, like a navy blue suit isn't hiding me at all. That is showing up as myself. And I think that, you know, you got to really, you know, we had some back and forth on it because tomorrow I was like, I'm wearing the fucking suit, you know, and so I think that people, there's just been so much training around what this means to show up as yourself, show up as a female, show up as a strong woman, or blah, 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 that it's hard to unpack it. And you get a lot of feedback from others, people that you really trust. I really trust Wendy, but it requires some discourse and some back and forth and really saying, what do you really mean by that?
Yeah.
And then confidence to be like, okay, well, maybe you really mean that, and I can't change your mind, but you understand that they're open for that discourse, and that's what's key. You know, really finding people who think the same way you do, but don't have the same outcomes of thinking.
Right.
And
right.
those are the people.
Say that again, because I feel like make that clear, like make that plain for someone that's like that, because that's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I think, you know, I was thinking how like they always tell you like with relationships, make sure that someone shares your same morals, your same blah, blah, blah. But thing is, like, I think we all have very similar morals, right? Like, I don't want to do harm to you. I would never date someone who wants to kill squirrels or whatever. But when you find someone who thinks exactly like you do, but doesn't think exactly the same things, you can have amazing conversations because you understand how you get to different outcomes. You can see it all laid out, and then you can agree to not agree and agree to disagree or whatever it is.
Sweet. All right. So,
but dressing with your mindset together, that's what gives you your Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours of practice every day of getting that mindset together of your two lives.
That's really one of my favorite books, and I can apply it to my time here at Tibby. I think it's so funny that we're doing this now because my first live with you like this, I fell out of my chair. So I feel like that's pretty funny that my chair, I don't know what happened. It magically fell. But like now I'm standing it because my feet, my sea legs, and my personal style journey is getting its hours.
Yep.
Period. And it's always been getting its hours, but it's like a different perspective. Yeah. Anyway, so it is a style class, and I want to talk about some items that I feel some of us might think like, okay, this is something I wear to work only. How do we talk about transitioning that into from the boardroom to the weekend to the playroom, all the different places that we wear things?
So someone asked which top this is.
Oh, I'm wearing the Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Newton stripe.
Yeah.
It's like the Charlie body in the pajama-esque. I'm going to just tilt this down a little bit. And so I'm actually wearing it back to the skirt that's paired with it, with the heel. And this is not something, you saw that little leg out?
Okay, J-Lo.
R.I.P. All right, so if I were to wear this on the weekend, I'm not going to invest in something, and we want our clients to invest in things they're going to get a lot of wear out of.
Yeah.
Is this a PW? Is this a 12 mower? Like, where does this fall for you on the scale of, or CP principles?
Well, what was interesting was, so this shirt, it has a lot of stretch in it. It's like a knit, but it is very polished at the same time. Yeah. And if you remember when we were in San Francisco, that woman, Julie, who was trying that on in the dressing room, she was saying that she was so desperate for tops. And I was like, what kind of tops? Like, and she's like, I just need more tops. And I was like, tops for like what's missing? What feeling is missing in your closet? And when she put this one on, it was like, oh, okay, I'm missing the top that is refined enough to go to a white tablecloth dinner, but I can wear it open over a t-shirt and faded jeans to the grocery store. I'm definitely going on a long haul flight in it. I can roll the sleeves up to here and tuck it into dark denim, and it's like a total chic moment. But regardless, it's like every place that you list, you want to know that they are different facets of your life rather than different events. So if you're ticking off, you're like, oh, I've got that charity, I've got that black tie dinner and that other charity. Those are three like events. They're not life facets. So when you can hit all the different moments of your life, that's when you know that you're going to feel connected through everything you're doing.
I feel that too. I actually have on the skirt also. And I think that a straight column style skirt is not something that I would normally gravitate to for the weekend, but with the sneaker balancing the CP principles, I would totally wear this with a blazer and a t-shirt under. And I actually want to show you that. So maybe you can look at the comments and I can pop it on.
Okay. Yeah. Just getting dressed in my office. I love that skirt that Couture was wearing because I plan on wearing that with a flat pair of sandals and like a big navy blue sweatshirt and really dressing it up and down. I can't wait to wear it, but I'm probably not going to stick my leg out like that because I do not have your legs, but I know I'm not supposed to care about that. So one woman said, I missed a conversation with Wendy. Is her personal style more feminine? Her personal style is more feminine. And so I think that's what's critical is, you know, when I try and do this, and I think none of us can ever be perfect at it because it's hard, but when you are conveying information to someone, advice or whatever, you've got to be very cognizant about what their personal style is. Because the minute you push someone out of their personal style zone, they are probably not going to feel as comfortable as they want to feel. And I try and get people to push really hard within their adjectives, within their modifier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is chic. You've mixed it with just a Liam blazer and a tank top here.
Yeah, I just have on a basic, you know, it has a little lace on it, but a tank top. And I'm wearing a bear shoe. This is actually the Aston, but I totally would do the Dwayne here just to walk around. I mean, this is me going around on a weekend, maybe having brunch with someone, hanging out for date night, going after work. This is the same skirt. And I would totally throw this on with a low profile sneaker also. So if I had one of the sweatshirts with the cutouts, I would throw that on and have this be my one. But since I have the white tank top, I probably wouldn't.
Well, like okay, so like Paris Fashion Week outfit to me, or actually, why don't we discuss London, end of September. Couture and I are going to be in London, guys. We're going to post all the deets soon, but starting on September 23rd through the 25th, we are going to be in London. So I'm wearing this skirt with a big navy blue cashmere sweater and then those sneakers. And, you know, this is my like, if I could go back in time and redo things on my very first trip to Paris when I felt like such a fish out of water, this would be my redo. Are you wearing,
I feel like in the fall, I would totally throw this on with the sneaker too. I feel like this, I really like the texture play. This is the same, it's almost like same, different. With the boucle, and it's like a boucle plaid, so it has highs and lows. Sorry if I'm making you guys.
Can I ask you a question? You're wearing that boucle with that knit skirt?
I might. Let me see. Because I would
Let me
do
see
this.
how it looks.
Let's see. Let's see.
Because
but I wouldn't do this with like
my gut is that the proportion is gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna love that proportion with it. So I want to see if there's something on you that I'm like, oh, I didn't visualize it that way.
My gut was that, is this a full enough? Because the Liam works for me because it's a big and the skirt is a slim. So am I gonna look like slim? Because I'm wearing this like a, and I think that that's what I'm more concerned about. I don't know. I love it. You're not sold.
No, I mean, to be honest, it's just hard for me to kind of totally see. But I think that if you step back for a moment, if I'm wearing this, you know what I'm tempted to put on with it?
The boots?
Yeah, but I'm actually tempted to put on a boot that we don't have. I'm tempted, like I've got the old like classic Ann Demeulemeester total
Something a
lace
little
up
bit
boots.
rougher with the.
Yeah, like something really strong and gutsy because you do have a lot of slim going on. So I'm craving something a little big on the bottom.
This
I would
isn't big
even,
enough, right?
yeah, let me see.
I'm just
Well,
holding it.
no, I think that I'm craving more like
Mm,
no, I need a welt. I need something a little stronger on the bottom.
yeah,
So
I can
I
see
think,
that.
but listen, I just think this is a good example of it's amazing how anything in your closet can work. It's just about getting, each time you got to run through that checklist
Yep.
of things that you're focusing on. And is it the color rings? Is it one ton none? Is it, icky glossy sculptural? Is it big slim
Yeah.
skin? And when you run through all that, that's when it all comes together. And I think that boucle with that knit skirt was probably giving you a really good mixture of textures there that felt
Yeah.
very interesting. Um,
So what
yeah,
would you pair that? What is that boucle like for you? Is that an outerwear piece that's more like a sweater? Is it a third layer? Are you wearing that only outside or inside? Because it has this beautiful. It's not Chanel-like, but I feel like
it's
the gold
Chanel
buttons give it.
like.
Yeah, call it
I
what
mean,
it is, right?
to me, it is an outer piece because the length makes it a little, uh, but you know what? I keep referring to the length that for my 5'5" height, and you're taller than I am. So this is where we kind of see it through a different lens.
Yeah.
Um, But on me, the length makes it feel a little bit more outerwear. It's the piece that I want to grab when I want something more cozy and not so structured like in a coat when I'm running outside. Um, and it's
So on the
when,
weekends, would you wear it with
yes,
a legging
yeah,
for
totally.
yoga?
I'm totally wearing it like to bar class and yes,
Yeah. I see you
100%.
wearing
Now
this
I'm not
with.
wearing our leggings.
Right. Not for bar. No, you can wear these out because you're
Yeah,
gonna wear these. I
those are
imagine
bona
that you would
fide
wear
wear.
these with a turtleneck and this,
And the
like,
loafer. Yes.
right,
And
and a
that
loafer.
loafer, yes. And by the way, actually, I would wear the loafer with a pair of socks with that coat and that skirt. That is going
Yeah,
to give it the right big, slim skin heft
yeah, and
for
the
sure.
featherweight. I think that would be a good combination. I want to pop something else on for a minute.
Okay. All right. So let me see. Can the split in this skirt be adjusted like less leg for work, more for evening? It's a slit that opens up like that. So it's really hard. You can't just stitch it together. It's going to create weird lines. But I really was interested in wearing more opaque tights this fall.
Ooh,
And so I think that just wearing a black tight, black with navy, I always love, or wearing it with a navy blue tight, I love. I love the idea of being in the office with a flat shoe, a navy tight, and then that skirt, the blazer like she was wearing. When I go outside, I want to mix it with a burgundy glove.
ooh.
I was
People have been
looking,
asking about those gloves. They love that oxbud that we had last year. We don't have gloves coming, right?
no, but I think we still have gloves on the site, don't
Yeah,
we?
they should repopulate either. Yeah, they should repopulate in
Yeah,
September,
because
I think.
those gloves were forever. And, I think a really good leather glove really polishes things off. And it was funny because Rosie, who has that site, The Classicist, she had done a story on colors for fall. And I want to tell you guys to beware of this, please. One of the big trend colors for fall was a lot of these army greens. And another trend color was a lot of ochre mustards, and another trend color was burgundy. Those three colors together, that is a fucking like 1999 Burberry's Lord and Taylor corner. Don't go there. You will feel so fucking like basic so fast, and that it becomes the saddest colorway. And I know Tracy and I in the past, when we would kind of like all those colors together, we always had to step back and we were like, you've got to bring in icky glossy sculptural, you've got to bring in pops of ring 4 colors. You have to be careful because it can go so bad so fast. 80s Ralph Lauren ad, not in a chic way, no
Yeah,
irony, wrong.
very
Careful.
true.
But a burgundy glove, with like all that navy. So
That's
rich.
it.
But a burgundy wool sweater, like be careful. Be careful. Like not cool, really fast. You wake up, you're really tired, you're testing for COVID, and you're like, fuck, it's just my sweater.
I like snorted.
Coming from someone who tested, well, anyways.
I was like, sounds familiar.
I wish
But
it
I
had
just
been just
thought,
a
like, is
shitty
there a ring
sweater.
5? Because is that ring, would burgundy and navy be in ring 2, or would they be like ring 5? It's like that
No,
dark.
they're ring 2
Yeah.
colors, but I mean, burgundy, navy, and olive, like you have to be very careful about some of those ring 2 colors piled on together
Yeah.
with no friction of a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Cool.
So there you go.
So,
How about burgundy
oh,
and lime green? Yeah, I mean, that the beauty of burgundy is you can go right into those ring 4s, and it's amazing. And that's where, you know, knowing how to work those color rings are perfect.
what do you have on at the house? Let me see.
I've got on the black polo.
Oh, yeah, this is the one, not the shrunken,
No,
the
no,
regular.
I've got on the, I don't know. I just blocked the whole camera standing up. But it's so comfortable. And this is one where, you know, I was thinking, I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say this, but on Tuesday, is today Wednesday?
Yes.
Was it just yesterday?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
Monday I went to the doctor, and I thought about what I was going to wear, and I'm at 102-degree temperature, but I thought about what I was going to wear, and here's a point in which, not to make this sound superficial, I didn't overthink what I was going to wear, but I did think about what I was going to
Yeah.
wear, and I even going to the doctor's office, and even more so, I kind of wanted to feel like myself, and so yeah, like I wore those white Sid, what are the Winslow
Yep.
sweatpants.
Summer.
I wore the tan suede slip-on shoe. I wore a navy blue t-shirt and a gray sweater around my waist. I thought about it, you know, because I
Yeah.
wanted to feel like me, but I love it when you get to the point where you can think about it, but you don't have to overthink it.
I
And you can,
agree.
like, every single moment you can just pick up, and it's your personal style that you're throwing on.
Yeah.
Rather than, I mean, I was not going to show up in sequins, you know, like.
I mean, it's twofold, right? It's to make you feel better, even though you feel like shit, and it's also to make people really see you.
Yeah.
I remember during COVID, I got COVID and I refused to go to the hospital, and like they couldn't see me. I took a picture of my family to be like, I'm a real human, don't forget. But I was well aware of how I showed up in that space, so they could not prioritize me, but like see me
Yeah.
as a person. And so even now, I wear the tuxedo ruffled shirt and navy all the time. That's my way of being like conversation starter. Let's talk about my health. I trust you, you trust me. Anyway.
No, absolutely. And I think, you know, it's just so it's it's really interesting. Like I was saying in the closet, that I thought about it, but I didn't overthink it. And you know, Couture, you and I talk about this a lot, but there are certain steps that you take to try and become a better critical thinker. And when you are going through all these different things in your closet, you really are sharpening your skills. You know, you can feel when your mind is like turning to mush.
Yeah.
And these are things that like sharpen you.
Yeah, totally. And it's for you. It's not for someone else. It's not for external.
Exactly.
I realized that I popped on a similar silhouette, and the silhouettes I'm gravitating to are all very similar. So the Charlie, it's like Charlie goes to a fashion show. Your son Charlie goes to a fashion show and has these shoulder pads, and I'm wearing it in the tropical wool. This tropical wool is have you ever introduced tropical wool with Tracy in any other collection in a top?
No, I mean, no, really. I mean, not of any consequence for sure, and not in this way. And I think we were really craving, you know, I had bought like 2 years ago, if you remember, I bought that Gucci men's shirt and it had those rabbits embroidered on it.
Yep.
And it was such a true suiting fabrication done in a button-down shirt. And I was like, this is missing in my life, you know, like I needed something without rabbits all over it, but like it was missing. And that's why, like, I told Tracy I needed to fill that hole of something that has a lot more polish, but it's still a shirt, and it's not like a date night top.
No, God, no.
Not date night tops.
No, no, no. Christine has on the ultra suede like Charlie shirt today, and I was like, oh, an oldie but goodie. She has it on with the tux, and I really love shirting that's not in that traditional shirting. So this has some oomph to it. It has a very, I mean, it has that drop shoulder that we love, and the shoulder pads that are removable. And this really, I feel like it's cuter. It's like a teenier collar. So I paired this back to the boxer shirt. And what I'm really into having pieces that give me a like one piece dressing. I like a good romper. I like overalls, and I can tuck this in but still get separates and like do the same thing I just did with the other pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think so. This skirt here with the double waistband.
Yeah.
If you come closer, Katura, so the inside waistband is elasticized, and it's giving a lot of look here, and this is one for people who really, these are subtle signals that I am interesting, I am curious. From a distance, you absolutely thought I was just wearing a black skirt, but not. And you realize when you think about the signals that you were sending out, that they're really the signals that you're sending to yourself.
Yeah.
And these are really fucking fantastic ways to feel, you know? I mean, all of this is about feeling smart and strong and confident. And, you know,
and
wherever you
like,
find that, but that's where I find it.
For the people, we talk about black, like a ring. People are in either a black rut or they're like the queens of ring one.
Yeah.
If you are the queen and you have tons of black items in your closet, there's a chance that you're missing silhouettes. There's a chance you're missing textures. So this is the opportunity for you to add. And what I love is I can pair this back to all the other tropical wool that we have that you had from season to season prior.
So speaking of texture then, because someone had asked a question, they said, I know that they said, Amy, you rail against wearing navy with white, but when we look at your site, you do wear navy with white. And so texture is a word that you just said. And I think that's what's key is you start to feel like a trope. You start to feel like a cliche when you are wearing very flat fabrications together. So a white t-shirt and navy jeans, you feel very preppy. A navy t-shirt, white jeans, you feel like, you know, Captain Stubing, if you guys are, any of you are from the Love Boat era. So you're wearing tropical wool.
Right.
And if you, so this is tropical wool on tropical wool. Now, even though you've got the same fabrication going on, number one, you're looking like you're wearing a jumpsuit or a dress. Number two, you've got so much strangeness happening already with this double waist. With, you know, you talk about the rule of three, and the idea of the rule of three is that the quickest way to form a pattern is by three. It's the shortest form of a pattern. And when you have a pattern, people can realize it's something quicker, right? Ready, set, go. Right, you know, aim, set, fire, I don't know, whatever it is, you know what I mean. And so you have hit the rule of three now. You've got the double waistband, you've got all the interesting things, three, done, right?
Yep.
So I think that, you know, if you were to mix this with a white t-shirt, I would say you've got enough guts and interest in that skirt that you could still kind of carry the way. You'd probably be tempted to add a belt or something to give you, well, now that, like, I'm leaving that alone. I'm probably not.
That's why I turned it around originally. I was like, here's a white t-shirt.
So if you did that, I'm tempted to add like a brown crocodile belt in and really lean into, you know, some texture and interest in that way. And, you know, like, and the thing is, like, just a pure white cotton poplin shirt, no belt, and the skirt, like, it's a good outfit. You're going to feel good in it because that skirt is strange.
Right.
But, you know, you're going to find yourself, you're going to find yourself craving more. You know, you sometimes you've got just an itch that you want to scratch a little bit harder, but it sucks if you've run out of your house, you show up at the meeting, you show up at the event, wherever, and you're not yourself all of a sudden, and you just like took more to just
Yeah.
to another person. So yeah.
I want to pop. So there's two shirts that I like with the skirt and that I wear often. One of the shirts is our summer crispy. I wear this, and I actually wear it in the tan with the shirt. I mean, with the skirt and the Dwayne sandals on the weekends because I feel like that's an easy way for me to show up. It's super creative, pragmatic to me with a little front tuck, easy to go. And then secondly, with the tennis shirt, I want to show you with the wool jersey tennis shirt. I know that's black on black, but that's a really casual way for me to wear it.
Do it, yeah. So, and that's good timing because people are asking to see that skirt in some more casual ways.
Yeah.
And then I think you can really dress it up at night with like
with a camisole.
Yeah,
well,
that. I was gonna say like a black tube top. Yeah.
Well, I would wear it with the tank top and the high boots. I probably wouldn't wear this heel because this is my version of going out. I'm not wearing a bandage dress to the club anymore or ever. So I would throw this on with a cute little, like this is me in the club. Thanks guys. Welcome to the club. Sorry,
I did read an article that said that if you go to a club in a heel, that you're a total millennial mom, by the way. I'm just saying. I read it.
It's me. It's me.
You're like,
no, I can't. I gotta wear a sneaker now.
Everyone was in sneakers, and they weren't good anyway.
All right, so now I don't want to be a millennial mom. I feel like I'm. So let me step over and put a sweatshirt on, and maybe I'll wear it with a flag.
Okay.
You see how fast? All you had to say is millennial mom, and I was like, ah!
I know. Did that scare you? M squared?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I'm
not a millennial. I'm Gen Z.
Oh, it's a big thing.
Gen Z.
All right, so
the tennis sweater here, and again, this is giving like good friction as well. So on this, I wanted to really kind of fuck up the idea of a tennis sweater and do the opening asymmetrical here, because you talk about the three tenets of a creative pragmatist, and it is chill, modern, and classic. And what we love about the classics are when things give us familiarity and comfort without being a complete repeat and a redo, right?
Yeah.
So when this is just off center like this, what are you pointing at?
Oh, this pocket, this functioning pocket. It's so like smart. I feel like I'm wearing my dad's tennis sweater, but I'm not because it's set off to the side. It's oversized enough that I'm going to use this as a replacement for a sweatshirt or a sweater, working from home on the weekends. It's everything. And then I love that when you cover this double waistband, yes, it's nice to see it, but it still gives you that ease. Like Tracy said, some guy saw her, I was like, your pants are too low. And she was like, they're all the way up here. So this is a really relaxed vibe. And I had the Seth on. Seth gives me a very kind of like, I'm cosplaying a sports, person. I'm like, tennis cores and dance here. So I like that, but it's too obvious. I like it with the Dwayne sandal. It's like chill, but gives it some edge for me.
I like it with the Dwayne. I'm sure that I like it with the Matt's boot. And you know what? I bet I don't like it if you do like a half tuck on it. And I think that's going to like disrupt my rule of three.
Right. Because it's like,
it's too much. You got the asymmetrical neckline. You've got the contrast here. You've got two waistbands. Like my eye doesn't know where to look. So I think this is where you really want to fake out that the skirt is just riding low. And because it's funny, when Tracy first designed this, I remember she came in and she had done the sleeve in a contrast boiled wool to give it some structure. And it was just too much. Like, these are the subtle things, and you got to really pay attention to it because it's hard to tell when you're looking at a picture online on, is there going to be just one element that just rubs you wrong? And that's where it's kind of important to know your brands, because there are not a lot of brands, actually very few brands that live by the ethos of a rule of three. And then there's other ones who are like, I follow the rule of 10. And you have to watch out for those guys because you buy it and you think it looks cute and then you put it on and I don't know. It's just like, it's just like buying a full quiche when you just wanted like an egg to be able to make lots of good stuff with, and you're like stuck with a fucking quiche, you know? So
Did you eat? I want to make sure you're good.
I
All right.
I've eaten breakfast and lunch, yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Good.
God. I'm like hungry again. The Matt's boot is amazing.
Over here.
I've yet to find something that brown doesn't go with. I know that. So I want to caution too, each of the Matt's boots are individually buffed. And so they're buffed by a guy and he is taking off some of the color. What it means is that each boot is going to look slightly different from another. So each one of you guys are getting a custom boot. This boot's couture as opposed to couture.
I know. I was like, you rang. Hello. Here we are.
Yellow
No,
looks
that
nice with this.
yeah, and I
So you
still
said you
have on
wear
the
this
same.
with the tan a
Yeah,
lot?
with the tan. I prefer with
Yeah.
the tan because it's soft. It's not a high contrast. I usually don't jump rings as much from 4 to
Yep.
1, but this is funny because this is 4, but it's almost giving 3. It's like this soft butter.
Yeah, but it is a saturated pastel, you know, and I think that if your skirt did not have the interest that this one
Yeah,
does, because right now even with it out it's sitting really really low,
yeah,
but if it were just very basic cotton black skirt,
yeah.
I think that you would not be as happy with that contrast of that ring 4. And so this is where, you know, texture, details, all these things really make a difference
Mm-hmm.
in what you're buying. So when you're thinking that you need new tops for your closet, for instance, this is when you really kind of need to make a mental checklist and think, am I, you know, when I go into the closet, am I missing texture? Am I missing depth and nuance? Am I missing something that just feels a little more frivolous and light?
Yeah,
And it's like when you go shopping, you need to shop for adjectives and not nouns. You know, I'm really kind of a fan of all these adjectives.
yeah.
Plus
That was a
modifier.
really good point. When we have virtual appointments, the stylist and I, we ask these questions like, what's your lifestyle? What are your gaps? And I think that's a good place to kind of hang our hats. Like, are you missing depth and nuance? What is that? How can we offer that to you? I'm going to
Yeah.
pop another pan on.
Okay. Okay. So someone says, I still struggle with red in the Tibby math. The row now also have red socks. Um, so I think that, you know, if you struggle with the red, maybe you just don't like red, you know, first of all, like that is a consideration, you know. So I think that's what you have to figure out, like what are the colors that are your go-to colors that you're really comfortable with. And for me, my go-to colors every time, red and green. And it just so happens that that's Tracy's, and it just so happens that it's Sarah's. And so by nature of that, you're going to really get a lot of red and green from Tibby. Um, but I think that, you know, other people have signature colors, right? So you don't have to force a color in that you're not in love with. Now, in terms of what red does, if let's just talk about it as a ring 4 color. And what it does is it gives brightness to when you're wearing all ring 3s. Those ring 3s are those muddier colors that when you wear them, you kind of feel like you're, you know, someone's going to ask you to, you know, to teach them a yoga split or whatever people do in yoga. And you want to maybe give like a little more energy to it, right? Yeah, because when you're in that ring 3 land, that's where like when I used to go to California back in the day, and I would go to, you know, to Malibu, and I'd go to some shop and I'd get all those like murky colors and I'd put them on, and I would just catch myself saying stuff that was just so not
Please
me, you
say what it is. What were you saying?
know. Peace. I don't know.
I was like, cowabunga? Like, what were you saying?
Gnarly. No, I mean just
Legit.
you know, it was too zen like. I'm way too hyper for that. It's too zen like, and so I needed those brights in there to like friction it, and I needed the urban colors of ring 2 to like give
Yeah,
it some grit and strength. So
yeah,
look at the red at Tibby as the items that give good friction to the ring 3. They give superpower strength when you mix them with ring 2s. But don't get locked into the idea of red. Wear red if you want. Don't wear it if you don't. Put on bright blue if that's your thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
So I threw on the Marit pant. This is how I'm wearing this guy on the weekend. So this is the Thomas check. We have it in 3 different pieces, and I really like it. You see every time I move it, like, does its own
What
thing.
size are you wearing in that?
I'm wearing the extra large, and I love that it's like easy. What are you doing? Working from home? Are you postpartum? Are you just in need of comfort?
Now, could you go down a size in that?
I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Actually. So I feel like if I went down, I really would lose the ease. And that's what I like so much about the boxer pant, because these pleats would kind of pop open a little bit more. I'm probably going to lose that much more, and it's going to make it look like a regular trouser. So I really like the fullness and the ease of it.
Yeah, and I think it was funny, Katara, being at McMullen's, right? Because this is, I think, the 4th year in a row that we've been out there in August. And so half of our customers that we've seen out there now are ones that we have seen like really growing with us. And the one thing that I hear over and over is people, as they're wearing Tibby, tend to go up in size, and they go up in size because they start to, their eye changes, right? And this is a pant where I will take a size small in it. A small is designed to sit for a size 4, 6. I wear a size 4, so I'm on the smaller size of that size small. So yes, I could size down, but sometimes when you do that, it's like you start to stare at it and you get mad at the rise, and you're like, well, you were just a little too short, and like it's too perfect.
I heard you before I saw you, and I was like, yeah, that sounds upset. Since I'm turned to the side and I have you here, can you talk about the good puddle? Can you talk about Stella's and the rises? I know we have a lot of like OGs here, but in general, this is a pant that really can discuss what it means to have the good puddle.
Yeah. So listen, when we have a pant that has a straighter cut, we offer it in one length, and we err on the side of longer. I have a sister who is 5'11". Carolina, our planner, is 5'11". There are lots of tall people out in the world. So we're going to err on the side of a little bit longer. So if you're taller, you are super welcome, right? But if you're on the shorter side, I'm 5'5", and you've got Sarah who's clocking in at 5 feet, then you know that you've got options here. First of all, the hem is very straight and easy to make.
Yep.
But if you get the pants hemmed, what you want to do is make sure that the pant hits across the middle of the top of your foot. Nothing looks more dorky and more, Katara, if you lift your pant leg up a little bit, like, oh my God, like, stop it. Like, you're like, I am with the Municipal of St. Louis and blah, blah, blah. Like, no.
I'm an accountant, and I'm going to tax you.
No.
I'm not a good.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. And it's so bad because for me, it's excruciatingly painful, because it reminds me of, when I had to shop in all these places that really just insist on catering to the middle ground. They're like, you know what? The world on average in America, they're 5'3", and let's cut every pant here. And if you're tall, you're going to just be like this. And if you were 5'3", gangbusters, it puddled just right on you. Right.
Do not let the tailor do that to you.
Oh my God, you just aged like 50 years. No. And not in a good way. And we know I care less about age.
I throw on the Seth because I thought that was a good high contrast, and they could really see where that's hitting. But like the ease and the chill of it, I went from someone that was like hanging out casually, so now I'm still hanging out casually, but I'm more refined.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw on a heel just so they can see the difference in that too.
Yeah. And so let's as we kind of wrap this up, because I want to get through some questions.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about the bifurcated life, kind of like, I want to do a pant challenge, and in like 2 years, I want you guys to send me your most destroyed pant bottoms, because that's your biggest fear. That's everyone's fear when they write in. They're like, but Amy, how do you deal with your destroyed pant bottoms? It's like, I want to see whose pant bottoms are the most destroyed, and like the top 10, Couture and I will give you a new pair of pants. You know, look like
Yeah,
this is cheap out. I feel
done.
like this is like, you know, Michael Scott's tots or whatever when he gave the promise of a free education in 10 years. But I just want to say, like, that is the worst shit that is going to happen, guys.
Yeah.
And
And also,
so if you gotta,
it will probably have worn its course by then. I mean, yes, you can get it, but like
I just
that'll
think
be
we
a
have
good
to
a
do,
life well lived. Like we'll
well,
also have a eulogy for your pants,
yes,
and we'll say, "What a great life you've lived, pants."
and do life math, right? So like if the math was that it cost you X amount of dollars over, you know, 4 years, that you wore them a
Yep.
lot, you wore them to your kid's soccer game, you wore them on the airplane, you wore them on that trip, you were wearing them in the halls when you got that promotion, whatever. Like do life math here, guys. Like add this shit up quickly in your
Yeah.
head. And it
Cost per
doesn't.
wear plus life divided by 4.
Yes. And this is, again, this is not about sequins in the vegetable aisle. This is
Yeah.
not about dressing inappropriately at the wrong time in life. And I know that because I think that's where the, you know, when Lucky magazine came out initially,
R.I.P.
that's where all the like the that's where all the verbiage went. They were like, girls, first of all, girls, wear your clothes, you know, wear your tool in the vegetable aisle. And, you know, no.
Yeah.
And not because for any other reason that you feel like a douche, you feel inappropriate in the environment that you're in. And the one thing I found out when I started doing these lives over COVID was that that was the number one thing our customers were concerned about was being appropriate in the environment that they're in. And it was not about fitting in or things like that. It was just about being in a place where you could still feel like yourself, but
Yeah.
right for the moment. And there's a difference, you know? And so wearing your clothes and being appropriate for the moment that you're in, like bringing those two things together is life changing because everything in your closet, you get so much more wear out of it. And when you're in the vegetable aisle and when you're going to bar class and when you're playing with your kids and when you're traveling, you have your personal style
Yeah.
throughout. And when we talk about getting rid of this bifurcated life where you're constantly, you know, in the life that you're living right now, waiting for the life that you're going to finally lead, like at least in your closet, affect what you
Yeah.
can. And that's where you really can bring it together. And then the rest will come, but it does take time. And I can't wait to share the conversation from the salon series last week because that really touches hard on that point.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm smiling because I was like, "Ooh, it's giving Tony Robbins, and I'm here for it." Like CP World Tour. I'm just
I
saying, it's like you're dropping some gems, and it's really,
no, that
really,
salon series though.
yeah.
I mean, it was really interesting hearing Samara talk about how she was, you know, pursuing drama and theater, and then a teacher was like, "You're good at math. You're
Right.
good at math."
Right.
But it was that combination of acting and math and everything that has made her such a super rock star, you know, on the global executive committee now at BlackRock. And then how Wendy Feinerman was saying that she had such an issue with
Yeah.
reading and that
And she reads scripts all the time now.
well, and she said that when she could read a script in bed, start to
I
finish,
knew it was good.
she knew she had a winner. And she said when she got Forrest Gump put in front of her and she read it start to finish, she was like, I did not put this script down. And she like gnawed onto it. And, you know, an Oscar later, the rest is history. So I can't wait to share everything from it. But these are all things that are really unplanned and really mean that you just need to like plow forward in life and fucking wear your clothes while you're doing it.
Amen.
Good clothes.
Yeah.
But let me just PSA this. Good clothes does not mean tippy clothes. And it means, though, finding things that are right for you. And a lot of times, vintage is going to be a great place for it. And I did a post the other day, and I posted a $4,000 bag from Miriam Schaefer. Thing was, it was a $4,000 bag from, I think, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
You want to own the bag that was $4,000 in 2015 and not the $800 bag that is costing $4,000 in 2024. So that is what vintage can do for you a lot. So you really want to find brands who are primarily D2C, because you know the money is in the quality. You want to find really good vintage, you know, scout some good resale, and buy less and buy smart and buy for your style, and wear your clothes.
It's hard to follow that, so I don't have much to say, but we do have some questions if you want to answer them still. Or
Yeah, is that
somebody just said,
Matt lurking
one day I'll
behind
wear
you?
Tibby. And I feel like that I always like to just plug that, like, you know, there's always options for you to find ways to wear Tibby. I feel like we have, you know, the outlet is on there, and our outlet is not like these were jacked up and we sent them to World Market or something because they were like the wrong paint was on them. These are actual products that are still available to you. So,
You know what's interesting is someone wrote, she's a curvy woman. We tend to feel more comfortable in loose clothes. And it's funny because I was thinking how Brittany was saying that time, if you guys ever follow Brittany on Instagram, I mean, she's just got the most beautiful curves. And she was saying how she had felt forced to wear really fitted clothes for so long because so many people were telling her, don't be afraid to show
so you're
your curves.
great. Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not hiding my curves by wearing loose clothes. I'm just trying to be who I am. And that's kind of what I was trying to say with Wendy. I'm not trying to hide my femininity by
Right.
not wearing lipstick and a dress. I'm just trying to show who I am, you know? So no matter what, guys, curves, no curves, feminine, not feminine, this really is about understanding who you are and what those visual cues are to help you convey that every day.
Yeah, I love that you always bring that full circle, like having a deep knowing of yourself. Because even as dating, you know, my spouse, I remember him saying, "You do you want a belt with that?" And I was like, "No, I don't want a belt." So, you know, I love that we love, but also sometimes we still have to like know within ourselves that this is what we want and this is the body that we want to dress, and we can dress for ourselves and be in partnership with someone else. And he's all about Tibby. You've seen him in the Tibby clothes, so.
Hey, real quickly,
Yeah.
because I think I can go through some of these questions and answer them online, but I do want to cover some quick things.
Let's do it.
And so, will you talk real quick about London and
Yes,
Australia?
totally. So last year we had a styling event and a talk with Amy in London, and we will be visiting London again. I believe the dates are 23rd through 26th. I might have it off by a day. That will include
I'm going
personalized styling appointments.
home on the 26th. I'm going to Paris
Yes.
on the 26th.
So the 23rd through the 25th.
Yeah, 23,
Yeah.
24, 25. 3
Yeah.
solid days.
Yeah, and we haven't posted it yet, but when we do, we'll send you a little questionnaire. We hope to see some of the people we saw last year. And when I say we, I mean Amy, because I wasn't there last year, but I'm there this year. So Amy and I, and also, can I tell who else is coming? You're like, well, you did it.
Me and you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Me and you.
Okay.
Well,
Is
all
there
right.
anyone else?
Yeah.
Oh.
Darian.
Oh. Yeah, Darian.
I didn't know. I was
Oh, can we?
like, surprise guest.
Yeah.
So,
And then Australia is,
yes.
I'm going to New Zealand, Sydney, and I'm going to Auckland, Sydney, and Melbourne. And I will get you those dates soon. But oh my
Yes.
gosh, I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's October, I believe.
So
Mid-October.
what I wanted to share with you guys, I'm going to actually post this up, but everyone is writing about that brown and white gingham drape shirt.
Mhm.
And I want to let you know, I'm trying to take off my glasses like I can read. Kick Pleat, McMullen, Jade Space, Schneeweiss in Austria, Vestibule in Switzerland. I'm going to give you guys a whole list of the people, Clairvaux, who you're going to see this week. They all have this shirt. I'm wearing the Luxe Pique polo shirt. Anita Haas in Germany has this, Boucle in Vancouver, Girl Candy Shop in Canada, Lotte in Korea, Jade in Indonesia, Space 519 in Chicago, and the Hive in DC have this top. And the very sought after Cumberland is at Boucle, Sabot in Atlanta, and at Mohawk General Store. Where Max has the Bio 12 vest. Good luck on that. That thing is going out like crazy. But Roan has it in Virginia, and then Walk in Milan. You guys, please, Walk is the best store in Italy by far. I'm going to put the rest into especially because the Eco Nylon, the hooded coat.
Yes, we have to post that.
Vice has that.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in Europe, get on with Schneeweiss. Also, get on with Schneeweiss, Anita Haas, all the great Walk, all the great stores in Europe, Vestibule, etc. A lot of you have asked me when the new collection will be up on Net-a-Porter, and I want to let you know that we made a decision last spring to really refine our wholesale assortment and really double down on these specialty stores. I know that a lot of you guys who follow the business, you know what happened at Matches, and it is quite precarious out there for small designers, and to be as proudly under 60 team members, and that includes our warehouse. We own our own warehouse with Michael and Sandra and Lauren and the whole team there. So it's a small team here. We got to protect the family, and we want to protect the business, and we want to make sure that we are here for the long run. We also want to protect these small businesses that we work with that we love so much. And you get what you give what you get. And we are giving it back to these small stores. I hope that you guys will reach out to them. They are wonderful people to work with. And I'm going to post who all has the sold out items. But remember, these small specialty stores, they have families, they are real people. And when they buy for their stores, they really buy with a point of view in mind. And if you had a chance to watch the live last week or 2 weeks ago with McMullen, yes, I know the sound was bad in the beginning, but get through the first 5 minutes and then we get closer, and it turns out, but it was a really good live, and it was really good because we shopped the hell out of her store in 2 seconds, and we were able to make the most amazing combinations that really spoke to a CP's wardrobe because Sherry McMullen shares our mindset. We think in exactly the same way, even though I don't think we think exactly the same things all the time. And that is, that's a really good thing, guys. So do you have anything to add to that?
No, Kansas City, I will see you tomorrow. I know you guys are going to take
this is when you're like, Kansas City, here I come.
Yeah, I'm like sitting on the barbecue.
But isn't that a song? Kansas City, here I come.
So, but I don't think, but is there a Kansas City song, Matt?
That's a saying.
Isn't that a band? Kansas?
There's a saying that's like, Kansas City, here I come.
I'm thinking of Sweet Home Alabama.
That's
okay, we'll look into that. I know they're going to DM it to me. Anyway, Amy, see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Have a safe trip. And I see Matt's thumb, so that means
yeah.
bye.
See you, Clairvaux.
Bye.